Good evening, race fans, and welcome along to TrackSpotTV. We're here for round number 4 of the virtual Racing Aotearoa 2026 O'Reilly Auto Parts series. I mean, we call O'Reilly a rose by any other name. It is, of course, the Xfinity. Good evening, everyone. My name is John Wright, as part of TrackSpotTV. It's a great pleasure to be covering the rest of the series. Well, of course, we've already had 3 rounds under our belt. Michigan, Pocono and Nashville. We're here for the Sonoma Raceway. It does seem strangely ironic, the shape of this course, to call it racing around here. It is a tricky one for the drivers to be getting the NASCAR's round this evening, but round it they will. We've got 55 laps for the drivers to deal with this evening. Of course, the first 15 are going to be stage 1, and then stage 2 will be the final 40 laps. As you can see, it is a fixed setup and no fast repairs for our intrepid drivers this evening. It's going to be a fun one. Of course, the rest of the calendar looks just as phenomenal. Chicagoland, Echo Park, Charlotte, Indianapolis, Kansas, Iowa, Richmond, New Hampshire, Daytona and Darlington. 110 laps to finish off the series at Darlington. That is going to be quite the season finale. I'm sure everyone is going to be fully tuned in from start to finish. As I said, we've already had 3 rounds so far, and 3 separate winners. Will we see a 4th? Scott Rankin, Willie McLoone and Luke Dilworth all bringing home race wins this season. Rankin managing to back it up with another top 2 performance, which is why he is atop the table at the moment, ahead of Javier Simmons. Willie McLoone and Luke Dilworth 3rd and 4th in the championship, despite having 2 wins each so far this season, with Bryce Harding and Hayden Millings 5th and 6th, Tyler Williams, Josh Mertens, Brady Standley and Corey Crossan rounding out the top 10. As you'd imagine, it's only 3 races in, so it's still very close. Jamie Harding, Devin Stove. Good evening, Devin, one of the league organisers. Aidan Gregory, Connor Nixon and Hayden Warrington all inside the top 15, with Logan Howard, Ayrton Smith, Terry Leverage Watson and Lackey Brett all inside the top 20 as well, with Cale James 51 points rounding out the top 20. There is a list of more drivers that have taken part. We've got, I believe, 29 out for tonight. In fact, we've just tipped over the 30 mark. It's going to be a busy track this evening here at Sonoma. Of course, just a quick word on the team standings. As you can see, the team names there. Sigma Sim Sports are the team that are top of the tower so far. They've got themselves 40 points. 234 points they've managed to amass as a team so far. Only 4 points though ahead of Vortex Sim Sports, who they've just overtaken after last week's results. Fastlane Esports currently occupy 3rd in the champion, ahead of the father-son duo and Sigma Sim Sports 4, rounding out the top 10 in the team championships. So it's all to play for in both aspects, with still a long season left to go. And let me just bring up the window that closed on me. Perfecto, all the information. There we go. As I say, we've still got 11 rounds to go. We'll start off tonight with round 4 at Sonoma, which is an incredible raceway built back in 1968. And no, before my producer in the booth likes to throw any shade, that was decades before I was born. Thank you very much, George. Of course, 1968 it was thrown together multiple variations of this course, 8 which include WTCs, Indy cars and bikes. The bikes get 2 versions of this track. We'll of course be on the NASCAR circuit this evening. 1.9 miles long this little beauty is, and as I mentioned, there will be the stages. Of course, the stages close for anyone that's unfamiliar. The pit lane will close 2 laps before that first stage ends, so the pits will close on lap 13. The stage will finish on 15. There will be a yellow flag, and then we will continue on racing. The drivers will need a pit stop to make it to the end, and just like the ovals, we do have the Lucky Dog facility available for the drivers tonight. If a driver is a lap down and we find ourselves under caution, they will be put back onto the lead lap. will be one lucky recipient per yellow flag, and it is the lead car that is a lap down that finds themselves back on the lap. Good evening to everyone that is watching on YouTube. Hope you're all ready for a great race, or good morning. In fact, it is 9 o'clock in the morning here in Scotland, so we've got viewers all over the world. Hope everyone is primed and ready. The drivers are in qualifying at the moment. They will be done fairly shortly by the looks of it. Once they are done, we will get the qualifying results up and see what sort of running order we are looking at, but can confirm at the moment, yeah, 31 cars we've got for tonight's adventure around Sonoma. Bless me, the hay fever is running wild this morning. But yes, we're going to see, as I say, qualifying and then the 55 laps for today. There we go. So we'll see how the drivers do jump into the chat and give us a hello. Let us know who you're cheering on. Is it a team? Is it a driver? Or are you just here to see the racing which is very shortly about to take place? As we can see, qualifying results are in. It's Hayden Millings that has taken the top spot ahead of Lachie Brett in second, Hayden Guptill in third place ahead of Willie McLoone in fourth. Logan Howard and John Boswell are on row number 3 with Javier Simmons and Brady Standley on row number 4. Row 5 is Matt Howard and Hayden Warrington with Aidan Gregory and Josh Mertens on row number 6. Devin Stone and Bryce Harding on row number 7. That's 13th and 14th place. Then it is Reese Tamaney. There we go. Where have we got? There we go. Reese Tamaney in 15th position. Stefan Tiers in 16th with Scott Rankin. Down in 17th place, Sam Waddell in 18th with Alec Inslee in 19th. Stuart Patterson in 20th position. Then it's Brock McNay in 21st. Ayrton Smith in 22nd. We've got Cale James in 23rd position. And Steve Duff rounds out row number 12 in 24th position. Liam Earl and Jamie Harding in 26th position. Cam Galley in 27th. Terry Leverage Watkins looking very happy there in that photo with his 28th position. That's a good qualifying, judging by that smile. We've got Luke Dilworth in 29th position with Tim Altius in 30th and Mark Grover, the last driver on the field. The bottom 3 there not setting qualifying times, not massively unusual, it has to be said. Around this course, it is a difficult one. As we can see, anyone that is new to this course, we're going to find out very quickly just how difficult this course is for the driver, especially in these fun little cars with a whole lot of horsepower and not much aerodynamics. There is a fair bit of runoff around this track, but that won't save you. Unfortunately, given the camber of the track itself, any minor mismanoeuvring, and you're going to find yourself spending a lot of time flopping about on the gravel and potentially into the walls. As you can see, the drivers on their warm-up now. Beautiful field as well, some very nice liveries. Oh, and we've already had a bit of an incident. There we go, on the warm-up lap, one of the cars is over Cooke. I believe that's Alex Inslee having himself some issues. So he has dropped down at the back of the field. He's dropped right down to 31st position already. The pace car has peeled in. Yeah, just confirming that there it is. Inslee, who's dropped 12 positions and is now dead last. Trying to get himself sorted out. Scott Rankin has lost a position as well. So too, Hayden Guptill. He does look like he's slightly out of position, but the start there we go. There's Green loves his food down, and it is flying up the hill into turns 1 and 2. And it's a very good start by Hayden Millings and Brett. Both of them getting very quickly out of the gate. Slow crawl up the hill as they try to get round that right-hander there. Not making it easy on themselves, going 3 wide almost as everyone comes through. The first time in sector. It looks like a very clean start right down through the field, but certainly Millings and Brett, what a start those two have had up at the front of the field. Willie McLoone very quickly making up a position on Guptill. He's got himself up in to third position, so good start for him. Boswell and Simmons as well, both taking positions from Logan Howard slightly further down the field. As we can see, this intense little four-way battle through the first set of chicanes, and over the crest of the hill they go. They're right on top of one another. The top two absolutely breaking away, but this little group in the middle of Brady Stanley, sorry. We'll continually call him Bradley now that that one's sunk in. He's got Hayden Warrington, as we can see, just behind him, and Hayden is now leading this charge of drivers. He's currently in 9th position. You can see a big queue forming behind him. So it looks like it is Logan Howard that is the driver. He is now chasing down. Oh, nice bit of side by side on that tight. The tight final corner, that's Reece Tamanhu sending one up the inside there and getting himself a very nice overtake. There's me a moment, I seem to have. There we go. I lost my sound temporarily. We'll get a nice on-board look at the track here. As we're on board with Tamanhu, he's currently running just inside the top 10. Sorry, 13th position he's in at the moment, but we can see from the onboard gyrocam just what type of undulations we're talking about. This is a seriously difficult race car, especially braking zones such as this, down the hill, heavy on the brakes, round to the right. Oh, we've got cars using a bit much of the track limits there. He might want to be careful, keep the powder ever so slightly dry. Don't want to pick up too many warnings so far. We're on lap number 2 already. Of course, stage 1, 14 laps left to go. We'll see who the points are being handed out to. It does look like Hayden Millington and Brett are making a solid claim for the top of the tower. These two have got a very good breakaway so far. As you can see, they've got half a second separating them from McLoone. That might not be enough though, given McLoon's previous winning pedigree. He is definitely going to be one to watch this season, certainly on the ovals and the road. He doesn't look to be too much of a slouch either, to be fair. He's keeping his top two very honest. Guptill and Boswell. Oh, we're bringing up a replay here. This is Brock Mackney, started in 21st. Oh, and there we go. Oh, and that is unfortunate, man. Oh, and I tell you what, yep, I thought we were going to have a bit of a ropey league out there, but Mackney there just finds himself spun through turn number 4. Turns himself into a non-rolling roadblock. Everyone does manage to make it past though, but one of the minor incidents we've had so far. Alec Inslee is still down at the back of the grid, and Cam Galley as well. They've both dropped back, and Stuart Patterson and Brock Mackney, as we've just saw, having a bit of an incident. He's ended up down into 28th place, so they are the big losers in the runners and riders getting started. Certainly Millings, Brett and McLoone, they will have no complaints at the start that they've had so far, with Guptill now in 4th place. Boswell's currently running in 5th, with Simmons in 6th, Howard, Stanley, Warrington and Howard all inside the top 10, so they're looking to bring home the points from the first stage. It's going to seem like a long way to go as we bring up another replay. This one, yeah, Alex Inslee at the start. Okay, I will reserve comment on that. It looked for all the world like he pulled over there, so I'm not sure if he locked up the tyres, pulled them across, but that's what happened on the start line with Inslee. Such a strange incident. So he's pulled over to the side, there's been a bit of contact, and that's him down at the back of the grid. Simmons popping in the fastest laps there. Yeah, these cars don't have much in the way of aerodynamics, but when they are in the slipstream, they certainly do go quicker. Simmons from 6th place there with a 1:18.8 to set the opening fastest lap, or an early doors fastest lap of the race. We'll see if that maintains throughout the rest of it. I think we will see quicker as the cars get a bit lighter, and I tell you what, he's coming under some serious pressure there. In 4th position, we've got some quick cars up in this top 10, and I tell you what, Simmons is looking not too bad at all. That is Simmons on screen there in the white livery. He's got Boswell and Guptill just ahead of him. Millings and Brett still only half a second separating the top 3-4 cars. As you can see, they're absolutely nose to tail. It'll be interesting to see if anyone does try and make a move towards the end of the stage. We've got 12 to go until we get some points handed out, so powder dry at the moment. We've got a big gap breaking up as well. It does look like the top 10 or so, top 10, 12 cars managing to get themselves a bit of a breakaway. Oh, that's a big clip of the wall there. Big clip of the wall there for Simmons. He can't do that too often. I'll tell you what, he will be picking up damage picking up damage and certainly more importantly losing momentum, and that's not something that you can do. Here we go, further down the field, just coming up through the same corner as Tammany, Waddell, Gregory Rankin and Luke Dilworth, who of course has got previous podium aspirations here. They are down just outside the top 10, and this is quite the battle. So these drivers not quite in the points, but they're absolutely still going for it. That's a nice overtake up the inside. Is he going to be able to hold it on the corner exit? Runs a little bit wide, but does manage to just about keep that legal. Keeps it between the mayo and the mustard, I believe they like to say in the States when they're racing, and he's managed to do so. As they run down the hill, they're going to stay as they were. Waddell right in the middle of this little group, still very close up at the front, but Luke Dilworth certainly feeling the pressure at the moment. Where is he sitting? Yeah, 16th place at the moment, so he needs to make up himself a few places so far. He's got a couple of cars right ahead of him. They keep battling. This is certainly going to be an interesting one. There we go, quick update on the track temperature. So 24 degrees. That is not too bad at all. I wish it was only 46% humidity here in Scotland, that is for sure. But the drivers out in the desert with having a much easier. And very clear conditions as this group of cars head up the hills. Once again, Millings and Brett still only separated by 0.4 of a second, and McLoone now closing that gap, in fact, up in third place. So he is looking like he is trying to make moves up at the front. He might get forced into this move because Guptill is absolutely piled onto the back of him, and we've also got an overtake just going on there. This is Guptill and the gang that we're watching now. Guptill coming under pressure quite seriously from Boswell here. Javier Simmons could find himself with a cheeky free position if he could get close. Well, I'll tell you what, yeah, Guptill, he is under serious pressure here, and that is Boswell, sorry, that is behind him. Oh, I'll tell you what, the back of the car under braking. Oh, so ropey these things can be, especially on a road course, especially when you've got undulation in the car. But he's going to go for it on the brakes, the back end of the car almost sliding out. He's really pinned that on the apex to make his way through the two of them, just leaving minimal amounts of room for both of them on the way out of the corner, and that is Simmons with an absolute front row view of these two going side by side. They're going to go across the start-finish line and head up the hill. Absolutely nose by nose, nothing in it. It's a photo finish out of the braking zone, and Simmons has been overtaken. Bradley, Brady Stanley, my goodness me, that one is going to haunt me all season, and it's only the first round. But yeah, Bradley Stanley getting himself involved. Didn't say he could find himself with a couple of free positions, and that certainly looks like he is going to help himself there, as the points will now change. He goes sending it up the inside. That's Simmons. Good manoeuvre there to get himself past Guptill as well. Stanley and Howard now not too far behind either, so they're going to be joining in, and all this is done is separated. I believe that's Boswell that's now making a bit of a breakaway from this little group. Yes, it is indeed Boswell. Yes, so Boswell has broken away. We can see he's already got himself about a second of a gap between these drivers as they're scrapping. So it just goes to show you how much you can get slowed down going side by side, especially in these cars, especially around the course like this. You really do need to make sure that those overtakes are fast and fluid if you're going to maintain position and momentum and keep up with the group ahead. Simmons has now got a 1 second gap up to Boswell, who is closing in on McLoone, Brett and Millings. So the top the top four still very close to one another. Well, Millings is sneaking a couple of tenths of a second per lap here on Brett. As we jump on board with McLoone and get a look at the battle for the podium positions. Or certainly the top 10 at the moment. Oh, and there we go, running wide again. So close to that wall on exit is Brett. They're almost leaving. Well, if there was any wing mirrors on the car, he would have left on the wall there. And a nice bit of paint as well. As we get more fantastic shots on board, this is, I mean, you can just see how much the drivers are having to wrestle these cars around. They do not like curbs on good days, and this course certainly not a good day for the suspension in these cars. It is The top three that we're watching, Millins, Brett and McLoone. McLoone, one of the championship favourites early doors. Look how close he manages to get. Oh, and I tell you what, that is a bit of a mistake almost there by Lackey Brett. That's really let McLoone in the back door here. He very nearly got forced in an overtake there after Brett was unsure slightly. On the brakes, here we go, heading up the hill once again, and I'll tell you what, that is a very hard charging John Boswell in the background. He is not to be left out with this battle, he says, and I'll tell you what, Javier Simmons, after getting out of that battle that he was in, he is now re-engaged. He has got Guptill and Stanley have now closed up the gap, so while that's all been going on, it's in fact Howard in 8th. That is now dropped off, and it's the top 7 that are once again right in one another's lap. We are halfway through stage number 1, so points are going to be coming soon for the drivers, and as it stands, it's Millings in first, then Brett, McLoone, Boswell, Simmons, Guptill, Stanley, Howard and Warrington that are going to be bringing home the points at the moment. Which order they'll be receiving those points, that is very much still in contention, as we're watching John Boswell be heavily pressured by Javier Simmons there in 5th place. These two only a couple of tenths separating them. Just down the field, Luke Dilworth, who was got a mention earlier on, he's actually made up 16 places since the start of the race. He's currently running in 13th, and he is the holder of the fastest lap of the race so far with that 1:18.6. But what a rocket through the field Dilworth's made. He has got 6 laps left to go. Do we dare dream to see him in the top 10? Is he going to be bringing home any points in this opening stage? If he does, that will be an absolutely heroic drive, given that he started in 29th position but up 16, biggest gainer that we've had so far, and he is absolutely gaining on that top 10 as well. We've got more battles going on outside the top 10. These drivers chasing down the points, and oh, good side by side there. That's Mackney and Altius, I believe. No, Evans Watkins, sorry. Oh, and he's almost run that one into the wall. Mackney's having to run wide. He's almost touched himself into the wall. Evans Watkins holding on to the spots. Mackney and Harding, they're going to go nose to tail. Almost a bit of a bump going up the hill. Such a slow corner for these cars to get there. We're going to go 3 wide. Oh, and the 197, that is Stuart Patterson. A bit of arsey-barsey between the two of them. He's almost ended up on the gravel. The two of them have managed to survive though, and they're still going, but it could be Tim Altius who finds himself with 2 free positions here. Oh, and all managed to just about keep it between the Mayo and the Mustard there. Patterson almost losing the back end of the car. That would have been an even freer position for Altius if that one hadn't stuck for him there, but it did in Harding. Patterson still holding on, so yeah, good solid 3-way battle here just outside the top 20. They are continuing right throughout the field, it has to be said. Little battle groups forming here, there and everywhere. It's still Luke Dilworth though who's clocking those faster sectors. Millington, Brett and McLoone have just crossed the line to complete another lap, as these two are going to go side by side again. That dip in the road there and heavy on the brakes. Are we going to see another inside move on the last corner? We are indeed. I did think that would be a bit of an overtaking hotspot this evening, and it's certainly proven to be so, although he comes straight back at him with the cut back and he takes the inside line. Oh, a bit of a wiggle. He's touched the wall on the outside. That's Patterson. He's going to have a bit of a nerfed run up the hill. And Altius not quite able. Oh no, is he now? I'll tell you what, that's almost as if he's just given that position up there, Patterson. No, it's Jamie Harding that is going very slowly now. All 3 of them there having issues making their way up the hill. Not quite sure who was doing what on brakes there, and they've almost completely swapped positions. So Harding's still leading the way, Patterson in the middle of this little group, and Altius hanging right onto the back there, going to go side by side again. He loves taking that apex. Very nicely done. That is another very nice move. And that's Patterson now back ahead of Harding and Altius. So it's all changing just outside the top 20. We've got Luke Dilworth in the pits. Right, so Luke is playing the long game. A few of the cars are coming in. They're not going to be taking any stage points. So they are going to be refreshed when the stage ends. Of course, the pit lane closes 2 laps before the end of the stage, so in 2 laps time the pit lane will close, so the driver's not in the hunt for stage 1 points. Coming in, taking a pit stop and getting themselves prepped for stage 2. We're going to see no pit stops, or certainly it would be massively surprised if any of the current top 10 do come in and take a pit. It's currently Millings that is still leading the way, Brett in second, Boswell in third with McLoone, Simmons, Guptill, Stanley, Warrington, Stove and Howard all inside the top 10. It's Matt Howard, sorry, who is in 10th position. Logan Howard has just moved up to 11th position, so it's Howard in 10th and 11th. Again, I think we'll see Logan come into the pit. He does seem to be a bit far back to make any moves on that top 10 so far, as we see more drivers coming in to the pits. Yeah, there's quite a few of them coming in. They're going to need to do so quickly. One more lap and the pit lane will close, and then we'll be handing out the points and getting going again. We'll see which of these drivers come in. We're watching McLoone at the moment. This is the battle that really is taking place at the moment. Millings has absolutely run away with this one. So is Brett. Sorry, so is Brett and Boswell. There's about a second or 2 seconds between the top 3, and then it's this absolutely solid battle here with Boswell. Sorry, yeah, Brett's 2 seconds ahead of Boswell. Boswell's got McLoone, Simmons, Guptill, Stanley right behind them here. Oh, now. That is an interesting manoeuvre. One of the top 10 at the end of the stage has decided to come into the pits. Absolutely did not see that one coming. Absolutely did not see that one coming. So there's obviously a long game strategy being employed there. So that does put the second Howard up into the top 10. So that's Matt and Logan Howard both inside the top 10 now, after we had Boswell come in to the pit. So a bit of a surprise here. We do have interviews at the end, so if he does make it to the final podium, we'll certainly question that one. 2 laps to go, so the pit lane will now close as these drivers battle out for the top 10. So yeah, Boswell going long term. He's looking for the overall race win here. He's going to come back out and he's going to get himself a couple of laps, and we're going to be yellow flag for the end of the stage for the points to be handed out. And he is going to be out of the initial points, but he's certainly going to be gaining them, he will hope, towards the end of the race. He has made it back out of the pits. He's come back out in 20th position. So that is an interesting one. Let me just see if I can see. Ah, yeah, there we go. Yeah, a couple of pit stops down the field. So yeah, again, interesting strategy. I'm just checking the timing data to see what his laps are like. He definitely looked like he was still on points, so an interesting choice to come in. I suppose if you can't win the first stage, put all your eggs into the basket of winning the second stage, and it is 1 lap to go, so we are heading towards our first points paying positions of the race, and it is Millings from Brett with McLoone in second. McLoone in third, then Simmons still holding fourth, Stanley holding fifth, with Guptill down into sixth position after starting in third. We've got some absolutely wild battles going on as the cars absolutely throwing themselves through, and I believe is that a blue flag? There you have it. Is indeed. It's Terry Leveridge Watkins in 24th position because he is taking a pit stop. He now finds himself, he could potentially be a kingmaker here in stage number 1. He's got himself between Brett and McLoone in second and third place. I'll tell you what, McLoone, he will be keen to get past as quickly as possible without losing any time at all to Javier Simmons, which is not going to be easy considering how close Simmons is. And that is Millings about to cross the line, and that should be lap 15, stage 1 done. Will he keep it out of the wall? Of course he will. Crosses the line. And that is 10 points in the bag for Millings. 9th for Brett. McLuhan's going to get 8. Simmons and Stanley 7 and 6. Cooke till he did finish in 6, so it's going to be 4 points for him. Warrington on 3. Devon Stone making it up to 8th place with Matt Howard and Logan Howard all inside the top 10. We have got our first competition caution, of course, to end stage number 1. The points will be totaled. Now, John Boswell is the driver that is going to very much be the one to watch, although I do like the fact that Millings on the back of his car it does say safety culture. Very, very nice. But there is Millings there. He did indeed win stage number 1, so that is 10 points in the bag for him. And that is an important 10 points as well. He's currently 6th in the championship on 98, so that takes him to over the 100 points mark, which means the top 6 in the championship are all now over 100 points. Millings joining them in that group. And just a quick look. Yeah, McLuhan doing well, taking those 3 points. That's going to strengthen his grip on 3rd place, and at the moment he's only 3 points behind 3 points behind Simmons, sorry, who did just finish ahead of there, so that is going to close that gap a point in his favour. I do love these early season standings. They can give you such an informative story of how a league may pan out, and then a few drivers have some incredible results, and it throws it all on its head. But certainly Rankin not featuring in the top 10 on this one, so he has missed out on some top 10 points, of course. Simmons 2nd and McLuhan 3rd in the championship. They have picked themselves up some very good points. We'll see if the drivers or how they get on after this restart. We're under safety car at the moment. We will have a full 55 racing laps. But they're behind the safety car at the moment, of course, and we've got quite a few of the drivers that have taken pit stops. Of course, no one that finished in the top 10 has taken a pit stop so far, so this is where these stages really do make things fun. Yeah, so we'll see how they get on after the restart and see who does what when. Of course, as I say, it's all going to be about the pit stops for the top 10. And Luke Dilworth as well, he is definitely going to be one to watch. Oh, quick replay here. Cam Galley. Oh, now he's had some kind of issue. They've just pulled off the track. He's had some kind of issue. Mark Grosvenor as well. Car seems to have lost momentum. That front left wheel doesn't look like it's got particularly the right amount of camber on it. He might have had a bit of a contact with the wall there. But Grover started down in 31st place, finding himself running very slowly indeed. Oh, and Steve Duff. Oh, this does, yeah, do we go with the Duff Man Simpson jokes there? I'm not entirely sure, but Duff losing the back of the car and finding himself nose first into the wall. Liam Earl, I believe our trackside stewards confirmed he was shouting for family there as he went full Fast and the Furious. And here comes the cars into the pits. But yeah, a couple of drivers having themselves a couple of incidents, as we can see. Look at that pit lane shot. Absolutely love the view you get there. The car's getting hoisted up, the tyres very quickly getting changed. That's them all coming in. Of course, the top 10 most definitely. We'll see how the order shakes itself out once we get it up, once we get them up and running again. So much changing in the tower. John Boswell's an interesting one for me. He is currently in 19th position. I'm going to see where he shakes back out. In fact, he has just been overtaken again. Right. Yeah, I'm now wondering if Boswell's had himself another issue. Bum, bum, bum. He might have. We will check and see. Luke Dilworth, unsurprisingly, is now leading the field. He, of course, has managed to stay out. He wasn't interested in stage points. He was looking for the race win. He started the race in 29th place this evening, and he is currently running in first. That's not bad. Josh Mertens will join him on the front row for the restart, with Rhys Tamanhu in third place, Bryce Harding in fourth, and Ayrton Smith in fifth place. The average gains in the race for the top five is 15 positions, because of course they've all stayed out. Brady Stanley, he is currently in 6th position, Millings in 7th, and then it's McLoone, Brett and Simmons rounding out the top 10 in that order. Guptill and Warrington 11th and 12th. Devon Stone, he's back where he started in 13th. Logan and Matt Howard 14th and 15th. If anyone in the chat knows, are those Howards related? Potentially. I have seen it where people have been in a race with the same surname. Didn't even know each other existed, so they may be related. They may not. We'd love to find out. It's always good to stir the pot a bit when there's some family rivalries. It makes Christmas dinner all that more interesting when you've piled one another into a wall around the NASCAR series and one of you's further ahead in the championship. So yeah, let us know in the chat if they are brothers, cousins, father and son. That would certainly be good. As I say, it's always good to stir that up a little bit. Let me see. So there we go. We're still under the yellow flag. I think that's us now. Going into double file for the restart. Yes, it is. Once we restart, we will be running all the way, of course. Whoops. And I've pressed the wrong button. We'll be running all the way to lap 50. Confirmation the safety car is in on this lap. Let me see now. There we go. We're back on the ovals next week, 12th of July, 55 laps around Chicagoland. So the drivers will be back to turning left. This one, though, a lot more lefts and rights. 1 to green, safety car confirmed coming in this lap, and then we'll be racing to the end. There may well be more pit stops. I imagine we'll have, unfortunately, a couple of retirements, just the very nature of this course. And the restart, it's going to be good to see what the top 10 can do. I think Dilworth surely looking good to sneak himself home a race win here. I'll be interested to see his strategy, why he started right at the back. Did he just not get a qualifying time set? Or did he yeah, have this plan all along, make his way, ensure you don't finish in the top 10, get that earlier pit stop and then come out yeah, in the lead of the race with Mertens and Harding close to him. Mertens and Harding, yeah, Mertens is currently in the top 10, so he definitely knows how to get a race car to the end and bring home the points. Let's see, safety car about to pull in. Yep. And here we go, we are side by side, and they are absolutely door to door to try and give themselves the room they need, heading up the hill. Here we go then, VRA, and we are underway, and what a start that is. Mertens and Dilworth. And I tell you what, that's Dilworth. He almost got caught out with the start there. Mertens got a very good run, but in the second phase of acceleration there, Dilworth absolutely flew out the gates. They're all going to go 2 by 2. It's full Noah's Ark up the hill through turns 2 and 3. It does look like everyone has managed to survive, though. Just checking down the tower, Matt Howard getting an overtake done on Aidan Gregory, very nicely done indeed. Willie McLoone under serious pressure as Javier Simmons, once again, he does like to apply the pressure to the drivers around him. We're going to see some good action between this little group, I think. Look at Dilworth though, he is absolutely running off in the distance. Big send up the inside there from Warrington. He's managed to hold it on the brakes. Oh, and he's almost over rotated. Oh, Oh, bless me. Yeah, that was very nearly Warrington over-rotating that on the curve. He did manage to get the car stopped, slowed down, and get that overtake done. That was Hayden Cooke fallen by the wayside there. Devon Stone, league organiser, they're currently running in 13th position. He is in the shot as well. He was up in the top 10, took his pit stop, and now finds himself down in 13th place. The vast majority of the cars have been into the pits. Yes, they have. A very quick, notably quick turnaround in the pits for one of the drivers. It was Brady Standley. Took a very, very, very short pit stop indeed. So I don't think he took on tyres. We will see how that goes. Back to the on-screen action on Hayden Guptill once again getting involved in the action. These drivers really do like to keep it close. Oh, and there's a bit of door banging there. He's trying to squeeze him as far over to give himself as much room on the way into the corner as he could, and it's worked out well for him as he heads down the hill, still chasing this solid pack up at the top there. Dilworth, Mertens, Harding, Tamanou, Stanley, McLoone, Smith, Millings, Simmons and Brett all currently running inside the top 10. He's going for it again. Oh, and that is a clumsy move given there was 3 wide and the limited braking capabilities. That's another car going round. So they've managed to survive, and they've left drivers in their wake behind them. There's someone sideways just outside turn 1 slowing down the rest of the field. It's Logan Howard. It was Logan Howard that looked like he got caught up in that. A brave dive up the inside there, which has resulted in a couple of cars falling by the wayside. I'm sure Race Control will have a nosy at that one after the race. Simmons, though, he is not slowing down whatsoever. That's another overtake done, or is it? Or are we going to see an instant cutback here? Nope, not quite quick enough, so Simmons is going to hold on to the position that he's taken. And he is going to charge up towards the rest of the top 6. The top 6 currently are still being led by Luke Dilworth, who has just reset the fastest lap of the race. He's taken another 0.3 of a second out of his own fastest lap up at the front of the field. He's just clocked a 1 minute 18.3. This is the perfect strategy, it seems, by Dilworth. He took his pit stop during the first stage. Oh, and I'll tell you what, we'll get back to Dilworth in a minute as we get back to more action down throughout the field. It's a 3-way battle here, and this one involves our long-time race leader, Hayden Millings. This is him now, currently in 8th position, so he's made it back into the top 10 despite, oh man, look at the back end of that car lifting there. That does not look comfortable in that braking zone, and these downhill braking zones. I mean, these cars aren't a fan of the anchor pedal on a good day, and certainly Sonoma Raceway is a difficult one, and this is specifically the NASCAR layout for the track. Oh, here we go, more side-by-side action towards the finish line, the finish lap. Another touch of the wall. The drivers really do like leaving a mark on that exit wall there from the last corner. It's going to rob them of momentum and potentially multiple positions as we watch Brady Standley trying to keep Rhys Tamanou, Willie McLoone and Javier Simmons in his rear view mirror. And we've seen so far keeping Simmons in your rear view mirror is a tougher task than some might be capable of completing. He is very quick indeed, and he's not scared of jamming on those brakes and getting the car rotated on the curb. Cars behind all finding themselves out on the red stuff as you would expect. But here's Simmons. Yes, beautiful onboard shot here, and again you get to see just how difficult this race course is. Look at those curves, higher than a Dutch tourist, some of these things, and the drivers really do massively have to interact with. Oh, and that's a bit of a tail end slide there from the number 61, almost losing the back once again. Simmons really is pressing here. A couple of free overtakes potentially. Certainly if the cars ahead decide to go side by side, it's going to make it a much easier job from him. There we go, switching onto the front right wheel, and beautiful view again. Out of the last corner we come towards the start finish line. We've seen a few of the drivers touch the wall here. No touches there, and way up the hill he goes, so close. And we have had an improvement. In fact, Simmons, just to put a little capstone on the performance so far, he's just done a 1 minute 17.8, the first driver to make it into the 17s. So not a massive surprise. He got a couple of overtakes done on those previous laps, given how quickly he is lapping at the moment. Oh, and down the hill, that's a bit lively on the brakes. There's surely going to be contact. They're both survived. Wow, little tap on the rear there. That almost ended a couple of drivers' races there, but they did manage to hold on to that one. I should have. Yeah, that's Hayden Guptill, sorry. So Hayden Guptill finding out the hard way that there was most definitely a car in front of him there, and almost collected himself a free rear spoiler belonging to one Matt Howard. Howard just outside the top 10 at the moment. He's in 12th place. Ayrton Smith and Hayden Warrington have both made their way past there as they head into the final corner again. Beautiful corner this is. No one making any overtake attempts this time though. We have seen quite a few overtakes in that final corner so far. Here's Gupta. Wow, such a different line he's taken to the rest of the drivers. He really is committed, to keeping it on that racing line. Oh, and there we go, a little bit of a touch on the car ahead. Well, I'll tell you what, these cars here are so... There we go, another bit of a touch. They both managed to survive. Gupta really is trying to get this overtake done, but he cannot get himself past. Of course, there we can see he started up in third place, so we know certainly qualifying pace. He has definitely got it. He's got a fair bit in the race as well. He just cannot find himself a way past Hayden Millings. He is in a similar position. He's got Rhys Tamanou just behind him in 8th place, and I do mean just behind him. This is not something that Millings is particularly unfamiliar with, as he's thinking about a remove there. Tamanou coming under pressure, big send up the inside, and he's going to make that one stick again. The final corner at the battleground. Is it going to be 2 for 1 though? Is Tamanou going to be able to fend off the Supra that is appearing behind him? Nope, the Toyota does manage, stay behind. Tamanou does manage to currently hold on to 9th position with Warrington all over the back of him. Brett just getting the move done there very nicely indeed. That final corner again, that's going to be I think the site of more overtakes than any other part of the track, quite clearly, from what we've seen so far. Up at the front, I think it's quite clear as well that Luke Dilworth, he is here for the win. He has got himself what can only be described as a gargantuan gap over the rest of the field. We had the top 15 in stage 1 separated by 3 seconds. Luke Dilworth is now 3 seconds ahead in first place, so it has been an almighty charge through the field. He's timed this absolutely perfectly to get himself as good a chance as possible to bring home the race win, as we have got more bumper to bumper action involving Rhys Tamanou. I think Rhys might be on for more camera time. Him and Simmons certainly on for getting more camera time than anyone else. Into the final corner. Oh, that's a big lock up. Oh, he's just about managed to get that rotated there. I think Tamanou was very, very, very generous in keeping and leaving enough space here. Warrington jamming on the brakes on the downhill, and he lit up both rear tyres there. That was a smoke screen he was leaving behind. That was a Battlefield 4 smoke grenade-esque there as he tried to disguise the overtake through that final corner. I'm amazed he's got that done. His tyres will absolutely not be thanking him though. That is for absolutely sure. We're on board. That is Devin Stone. He's currently running in 13th, so he's made it back to where he started. He will now look to make improvements and get closer towards. Oh, nice. As someone who has driven these cars, folks, I must apologise. Because I have tried to save these things quite a few times. I understand the fear, and it is sheer fear that goes through the drivers when the back of these cars starts doing, quite frankly, whatever it feels like. I can certainly make it a bit interesting. There we go, a bit of steer opposite lock there for Devon to get his way through, what is that, 10 or 11. Of course, one of the big changes where the course makes its changes, turns 4 and turns 11, of course, the big variations between the different layouts of the course, and more side-by-side action in the final corner. This is a 3-wide battle we've got going on in the background there, has managed to settle itself out. It's Matt Howard. No, there we go. still going on. It's Sam Waddell, in fact. He's got himself right end in the middle. I cannot wait to see what these drivers do on an oval. It's Waddell. He's got Stephen Tears ahead of him. Tears with a good run through the race so far in Gregory and Scott Rankin. All inside the top 20, but looking to make improvements through the field. That's two wheels there. I believe you get a bonus for that on Forza. I'm not sure you get so much of a bonus for it here on iRacing. You certainly get a nerf in your ability to steer, that is for sure. Thankfully though, Waddell, and hopefully I'm pronouncing that, Sam, my apologies if I do get any of the names incorrect. I am pronouncing Sam's surname the same way as the British darts player. So there is my inspiration for that, but if that is pronounced differently, Sam, please do let me know. Happy to get it correct. But if you are related to the darts player, yeah, congratulations. He's not too bad. Dilworth, speaking of not too bad, he's just on an 18-2. Oh no, never mind that. Last corner overtake attempt again. Oh, and again, really trying to force it on the tyres. A whole lot of locking up. And they've gone side by side on the exit. Absolute door banging on the way out. The tyres really are taking an absolute massacre at the moment. There's quite a few of these drivers going to need a fresh set of boots to make it to the end. That is for absolutely sure. They are leaving so much rubber on the track in that last corner. It's absolutely ridiculous. Snaking his way up through the field though. Scott Rankin, very nicely done. Oh, and I tell you what, Aidan Gregory, they're having a bit of a wiggle on the corner exit. The drivers are keeping this one interesting, and we love it. I'm not sure they do, the mechanics do, or the tyres do. But certainly from a viewer's perspective, this is what you love to see. Oh, he's run that one a bit deep, just on the outer edge of that curb, and going to see a big move down the inside. That is nicely done on the brakes through the little chicane there. I want to tell you what, is this going to be a free position for the cars behind? No, it's not. They've managed to sort that one out. Such temperamental beasts, these little cars. Just a quick update up at the front, actually. Up in 5th position, we have got an almighty battle going on. As Stanley's come into the pits, Stanley has come in to take a pit stop. That's 15 laps into the second stage, so we're 30 laps in. We've got 25 left to go. So we've effectively recompleted stage 1, and cars are back into the pits. There's Brady Stanley, who I am going to continue to call Bradley Stanley for whatever reason. My apologies, Brady. I will get it right at one point before the end of the season, but that's Stanley into the pitch, and he is tumbling down the order. That's put him outside the top 20. So as I mentioned, more pit stops to take, and I think that was fairly obvious by the way the drivers are quite frankly mistreating the tyres on these cars at the moment. A whole lot of brakes being used, and quite a few lockups, especially again into that last corner. But at the moment, whoa, big bounce on the curves. Yeah, well, we're 30 laps in, and it is Luke Dilworth who has rocketed 28 places through the field to currently have a 6-second lead over the rest of the field. His big problem is going to be blue flag traffic as we see someone else pulling into the pits. And that's Willie McLoone. So Willie McLoone has come into the pits, and he's also been followed by Lackey Brett. So Lackey Brett's come into the pits as well. Willie McLoone has come in, so I was right, there was a lot more pit stops still to come. And there is a side-by-side battle over the line. I love the sound of these engines as they whiz past. It's Toyota versus Ford once again. Not quite the romantic Ferrari v Ford battle that was glamorised by Hollywood quite a few years ago, but it is the Toyota of Warrington. I'll tell you what, he is not shy on the overtakes. He's not shy of letting that back end loose either. That does manage to hold on to it though. I mean, wow, that is full commitment there. Reece Tamanu and Hayden Guptill now going to continue the battle on behind them. Guptill, and in fact, let me just check my standings. I wouldn't mind seeing, where is Simmons gone? Javier Simmons, yeah, he's up in 4th place. Woohoo! So yeah, he's on a good race. He's going to be coming into the pits soon as well though. We'll see when Dilworth decides to come in to take his pit stop as well. I mean, he's 6 seconds in the lead. That's absolutely wild. More overtaking action in the final corner. Short corner here, he says. Javier Simmons, last corner. Javier Simmons, it must be an overtake, and it is indeed. Gets the move done very, very nicely indeed. And that is, who's that behind him? I should know that livery already. That was Simmons. Getting it done. It's Josh Mertens, of course it is. Mertens, who's running up in 4th place, another one of the drivers that didn't feature in the points in the first stage, and has gained himself an advantage over the rest of the field thereby doing so. He is up in up to 4th position with Simmons now up into 3rd. We'll see when the rest of the drivers up the top. Oh, and is that Guptill coming into the pits? It is Hayden Guptill has come into the pits. So is Aidan Gregory. So it's fast and furious in the pit stops at the moment. We'll see when Dilworth comes in. Of course, he came in on lap 13. Yes, lap 13. Dilworth came in. So we'll see when he comes in for his second pit stop. We're currently watching the battle with Matt Howard and Stefan Tiers. We've got Devin Stone just ahead of them. These 3 drivers all inside the top 10. Oh, I'll tell you what, that's a very good run. He's got down the hill, going towards the final corner. He's going to jam on the brakes. He is going to take the apex. There is no tyre locking up though, and I tell you what, that is a very nice manoeuvre. Has a bit of a wiggle on the end, does lock up. On the exit though, a bit too much on the brakes. He's left himself a couple of tram lines on the track and almost left a position behind there, but he's managed to hold on to it. And Scott Rankin, well, these two have slowed themselves up ever so slightly. Rankin chasing up the hill is now going to find himself with the opportunity to overtake at the end of this lap. When he gets to the final corner, if he can keep this close, we've got more drivers into the pits. It's Tim Altheus is in, and Hayden Warrington comes in for his second stop of the race. So it is very much silly season at the moment here at Sonoma for round number 4 of the VRA O'Reilly Auto Parts series. Although, as I've said before, I tell you what, I've also said before about how high these curves are. A Rose by any other name is still a Rose. Team Xfinity all day long, quite frankly. They are the O'Reillys now, so we'll give them their proper name. But if you know, we've got more drivers coming into the pits. That's Mark Grover, Cale James coming in, Terry Leveridge Watkins into the pits as well, and Luke Dilworth's coming. So there we go, Luke Dilworth comes into the pits as well. He's joined by Hayden Millings. Harding, Simmons, Mertens, Tamanu and Stone have all stayed out. So have Tiers, Rankin and Howard. Dilworth currently tumbling down the order as I'm just checking these pit stop times. Data for I cannot make bricks without clay, a wiser man than I once said, and never was a truer word spoken. Yeah, some of these pit stops very quick indeed. In fact, Willie McClune, 8 seconds. He's joined by Hayden Guptill on an 8-second stop as well. So the drivers chopping and changing their pit stops because they have got more than one to take. So some taking tyres and fuel, some taking only fuel. Oh, in fact, yeah, sorry, if you're going to take tyres, you're going to take fuel as well, but certainly a fuel-only stop to try and gain some track position. Not a bad idea. Dilworth has come back out of the pits and he is currently running. Where can I see? There he is, 11th place. So he's still made a net gain of 18 so far, which is not bad after starting from 29th, but he finds himself back out with the pits in 11th with more pit stops to take. That's Rhys Tamanu has come in to the pit, so he is going to take another stop. Rankin and Tiers will go past, so will Matt and Logan Howard as well, I believe, as we've got more cars sliding their way towards the end of a stint. That is, yep, there we go, some more cars coming in. So yeah, very much silly season at this stage of the race. We're halfway through stage 2. With our stage 1 winner, Hayden Millings, just taking his second pit stop. He's back out in 15th place. Willie McLoone is who we're on board with at the moment. We've seen some good pace from him so far in the race as well, but he is coming under a bit of pressure at the moment. And certainly looking to fend off the advances. Are we going to see? Oh no, tell you what, you're going to get it before the last corner maybe? Nope, not quite close enough. And Stanley freshly out of the pits. He is looking to get an overtake done and get that fresher rubber used to get himself back up the pits. We've got more. Bryce Harding and Josh Mertens joins Stefan Tiers and Matt Howard into the pits. It's absolute non-stop pit action at this stage, as you would expect. Brady Stanley with a 1 minute 17.840. Oh, and he's touched the wall on the inside. Is he going to get the car moving again? I tell you what, he tried for the overtake there, did Stanley. Didn't quite make it work though. Very good defending from the driver ahead. And there we go, everything is chopping and changing, and that is confirmation that Stanley and McLoone in the top 10. Mertens joining them in the top 10 as more cars make their way in and out of the pits. That's Merton and Tiers. Merton on his way out, sorry. Tiers is still stationary, and we've got Matt Howard. I don't know why it says KH. K would be his middle initial. We'll see if we can get that changed for next week. But K Howard on the screen, KH, that is actually Matt Howard, and Logan Howard is the other Howard. Did we have anyone in the chat fill us in? No updates at the moment anyway on the potential familial status between Logan and Matt. Well, we will see. There's Javier Simmons, our on-track race leader, comes into the pits. He's been joined there by Devon Stone. So again, we're going to see more changes right through the field, and that is Logan Howard now coming into the pits as well. It has been a busy few laps. We're 37 laps into the race overall, 22 to go. 22 left of the second stage. Of course, 15 laps for stage 1, 40 laps for stage 2, 55 race laps overall. We did two laps under safety car in between, and here we go, more nose to tail battles as we head up the hill through sector number 1. What a sector that absolutely is. It's Hayden Millings that we can see. He's got Warrington just behind him and Guptill just ahead of him. Wacky Brett is the driver leading this little group at the moment, so they've really come very close together since coming out of the pits. I just want to check. Luke Dilworth is back out in third place. So for me at the moment, with the pace that he's shown and the strategy so far, I do think Dilworth looking very good value for at least a podium, if not the race win. It's not bad for your first broadcast race here on TrackSpotTV to do a last to first challenge over a 55 lap race at Sonoma. That to me is definitely worthy of a t-shirt being printed, I would say. We will speak to the merchandise guys and gals in the background and see if we can get some kind of proper recognition. In fact, Dilworth has just got the overtake done on Waddell up at the front. So Dilworth, while we're watching this battle on screen, there's so much action going on. I absolutely do not envy our race director at the moment trying to keep up and bring us the pictures that the drivers are treating us to here. But that's Dilworth getting the move done. He has moved up into second. It's Hayden Millings, of course, who won stage 1. The safety culture all over his car. How safe is he going to be? I tell you what, that wasn't very safe at all. My goodness me. That was a tank slapper there. Back end of the car, absolutely stepping out on him. He does manage to reel it in. And I tell you what, there's a few of them. There's a lot of tell you what's, my apologies. There's a lot of side by side and a lot of back ends of these cars. We've got absolutely no idea whose back end is going to step out of place next. It is Guptill, who is climbing himself, or watching the cars around him. So there's Millings. There's Warrington, climbing all over the curves to try and get the overtake done. Oh, a little bit of a touch there. Oh, and he's off Guptill. Oh, and I tell you what, that was heavy contact there, or heavyish contact, and it was enough to slow him down. Of course, it is NASCAR, where, as they say in Indiana Jones, anything goes. More cars coming into the pits. That's Scott Rankin and Sam Waddell, both coming in for a later pit stop than the rest of the field. We'll see what their tyres are like at the end of the race. And back out in the lead after a quick round of pit stops, it is Luke Dilworth. I think at the moment it's an easy job for the camera director. Let's get some camera time for Luke. He's only made 37 overtakes so far in this race, which is not bad considering it's a 31 car field. So he really has been absolutely flying. His quickest lap of 1:18.0. We do have two drivers that have been into the 17s, and if Luke doesn't get there by the end of the race, I will eat one of my shoes. Which I can confirm are reasonably sizable. We'll see if Dilworth does get the fastest lap. As I say, 1:18.0, average speed at 90 miles an hour around this course. Again, as someone who has a bit of experience in driving these cars, I can confirm some frighteningly quick laps that the drivers are managing to get put on there today. Let's see, Millings, of course, he won stage 1, and he's got himself back in the top 10, so I would think he's going to consider this. Of course, the points and the chase points he's going to get for the overall result and for the initial stage. It's certainly going to be a very good points haul, and he's no slouch either, so we could see him take even more points. We've got Willie McLean, Brady Stanley still battling away. They've just got themselves past Cam Galley, who was a blue flag. We can see Cam just in the background there. The two did manage to get past very handily indeed. Can't confirm Cam. Exceptionally gentlemanly, like letting them past. McLean might not be so gentlemanly though, trying to fend off Brady Stanley. We've seen McLean, and he's already got race wins here this season. Of course, third in the championship, brought home some points in the opening stage as well. So again, he is on for a very good day. Wow, we've only got 15 laps left. Have we really done 35 laps? Where have the laps gone? The time goes far too quickly. That's another driver in the pits. That's Galley. It's Cam Galley who's come in, so he was just overtaken there under blue flags. It looks like Terry Leverage Watkins. I don't think he's come back in. Yeah, just checking there. Leverage Watkins. Yeah, sorry, yes, his pit stop has been 24 minutes. So Leverage Watkins looks like our only runner and rider that won't be completing today's race. Oh, these two are certainly going to be completing a nerve-wracking races to go side by side once again through that mid-lap chicane. Definitely keeping us on our toes and themselves as well. Big gap up at the front though. I mean, Luke Dilworth. Let's have a look. Oh, Cale James. Oh, wow. So there we go. That's how easy you can lose the back of the car. Double contact with the wall, back end. I mean, it's one of those curbs there. You could drive over them 30, 40 times, and then the 41st, there is just that minor wiggle. It throws you off and it throws you into the wall, as we can see there. Double contact for Cam. Terry Watkins is in the chat. Good evening, Terry. Got a meatball flag. Brutal. That is the irony. I mean, these cars are made of very little. Oh, here we go. Here is Cam. Here. Oh, out with the last corner. I'm not sure that would have been the meatball. I think he's already got the meatball by this point. There's going to be so much again for the race director to try and get through. I certainly don't envy him pushing the buttons in the background. Mr. George Cooke, of course, running the broadcast in the background here for TrackSpotTV, doing a phenomenal job keeping up with everything that is going on. But Terry, yeah, unfortunate turn of events with the meatball this evening. Hopefully we can get you back out next week. There we go, cheeky little replay of the start. It's a very nice livery you've got as well, Terry. Yeah, very, very, very nice livery on that machine as well. I do love to see the liveries that the drivers put on. We've got Luke Dilworth in the lead of the race. He has got 13, I'm going to say 13 very short laps to go. I mean, he's lapping in the 1 minute 18s. His consistency is not too bad, certainly a bit of fade on the amount of grips. His last lap there was a 1 minute 19.5, so big difference. But here we go into the final corner. Are we going to see an overtaking attempt? Of course we are. Sends it up the inside, gets it rotated using the curb edge out with the last corner, and that is a very nice overtake done for Logan Howard, and that was on Matt Howard. Terry, actually, any inside info on Logan and Matt? Are they brothers? Are they related? Or does it just so happen two guys with the same surname are in a 31 car grid? Which is just as possible. There we go. I've got some weird sound effects coming through on my feed, but no, we've got music. We've got the music. But it is music, let's face it. The sound of these engines, they do sound very good indeed. Battles still going on throughout the field. Can't confirm Logan and Matt Howard that we were just watching. A few more down the field as well. Cam Galley looks like he might be done as well. Oh no, he's just in the pits now. So he is still stationary. Of course, on screen here, battles in and around the top five. Lucky Brett in 6th place. He's got Millings, Warrington and Mertens. Very, very, very close indeed, and that is Warrington just on an 18, or sorry, his fastest lap in 18.4. They're all managing to clock that 90 mile an hour average speed around here, so the drivers certainly know their way around here. As we can see, there's Cam Galley just coming out the pits now, so slightly longer pit stop for Cam that time. In fact, he might have come back in there. I will double check and see what's happened there, but I think he's come in a couple of times. But on screen, we have still got this battle absolutely raging on. Hayden Warrington does seem to be the meat in the sandwich here as the four of them head down the hill to complete another lap. We've only got 12 laps to go. I think we should speak to the guys at VRA and get these races extended a bit. It wouldn't be such a bad idea given how close it is. I'm not sure the tyres or the drivers would agree, but certainly from a viewer's perspective, absolutely no complaints whatsoever. We've got more late pit stops. That's Mark Grover from down in 22nd position. Coming in for another pit stop, fresh set of boots to see him through to the end of the race. I love these right wheel camera. I love the onboard wheel shots you get from these cars, and there is how close the drivers like to get. And you can see those curves there, they are so disjointed and cracked. That's why the drivers have a whole lot of fun getting the car rotated around those corners as Warrington throws it at the wall on the left hand side, throws it at the white line on the left hand side, heading up the hill. Oh, and that's a bit of momentum lost for Milling ahead of him. Lucky Brett. Oh, and there's a bit of contact. The two of them had a bit of contact there. Milling almost loosened the back end as he had a Warrington try to jump into the back seat, potentially share some popcorn with him. Is he going to have a look? No, he's going to keep his powder dry down. No, he's not. He's going to go for it down the hill into the right-hander. His tyres, one of them is going to run wide, and they're both going to lose a position here. That is a brave, brave, brave manoeuvre down the hill, and he's made it stick. Ladies and gentlemen, race fans, young and old, to your feet, please. No, as he... Yeah, of course Millings is going to come back at him. Warrington, sorry, going to come back up. I thought Millings was going to make that all the stick, and Josh Mertens is going to say thank you very much to the two of them. They've made contact. Oh, and he lost control of the car there, unfortunately. Warrington losing control of the car ever so slightly. He was on skates, and he took a bit of a touch on the side there, but Warrington, he's really struggling with those back tyres. So there you go. As you can see, folks, when you tap on the brakes of these cars, you might as well be on ice skates at that point. There's a lock up in the last corner. It is the law of diminishing returns. I'm going to be honest, once you get a flat spot in any race car, they will get exponentially worse the more you use the brakes, and in these cars you can magnify that by a millionfold. Yeah, I'll be back next week. Excellent. Thanks for the stream. It's been great. Terry, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'll tell you what, I'm massively enjoying it. If you're going to get out of your bed at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning it's going to be to watch this racing. That is for absolutely sure, and I'm loving every second of this. We've still got more battles in the brewing, and we've seen how easily these cars they end up, as I say, on skates. Scott Rankin losing a couple of positions there. Devin Stone making an absolutely solid overtake there. I'm not sure if Rankin had a bit of an issue, but he's certainly looking to come straight back at him if he can. Doesn't manage to do so. Devin, of course, one of the organisers here. Great chap, had a word with him. And yeah, he absolutely loves this league, loves taking part in it, and it's great to be part of the journey that they're on, getting these leagues broadcast. And there's going to be some serious racing so far. Our serious racing this season, if today's opener, or certainly opener for us, my apologies, this is the fourth round, folks, but it is the first round that we have covered, and thankfully it won't be the last. We'll be back on ovals next week, but I think we might have to get more road tracks in to see these cars make their way around. It's still Luke Dillner's up in the lead of the race with less than 10 laps to go. Simmons is in second with Stanley in third. We've got McClure, Harding, Brett Millings, Mertens, Warrington and Tamanu all rounding out the top 10, and there is Luke Dilworth there. Some gratuitous camera time, it's safe to say, for Luke. I mean, even when we're watching his car, you can barely see any of the cars in the background. Will we see anyone? Yes, just appearing out of the last corner is Javier Simmons, who has had a phenomenal race as well, to be fair. He is up 5 on where he started, and he's brought points home in both, or he's looking to bring points home in both stages after finishing inside the top 10 in stage 1. He is only 5 seconds behind Dilworth. And I tell you what, he is actually faster. Oh no, he was a 10th slower on that last lap in Dilworth. Wow. This is absolutely in the margins here. There we go, very quick rehydrate for the commentator. Much needed so far. This has been absolutely incredible. More onboard shots. This time it's Howard. That is Matt Howard, who I believe is the lead Howard. Oh no, he's not, sorry, Logan's up in 12th. So Logan is in 12th. Whereas Matt sitting just behind, and he really is putting the pressure on again. You can see just how old these curbs are. Let's head down the hill. This has been a fun little spot to throw these cars through as well. Oh, so close to the wall, but that's absolutely where you need to be. So again, this is Matt Howard. Here, jump over on another wheel. It really does look like a whole lot of fun. It's certainly fun that I won't be trying in these cars, that's for sure. I'll keep my NASCAR obsession to turning left on oval. Sonoma is definitely not a track I'm keen. It's good for an open wheeler, so it certainly wouldn't be as much fun, I don't feel. Well, if I'm behind the wheel, certainly. In these NASCARs. But enough about my driving. I hide behind the microphone for a very good reason. Lucky Brett, though, no hiding here. He has got Hayden Millings behind him, and Millings, we know, has got pace after winning the opening 15-lap stage. We've got 7 laps left to go for him to try and get closer to the top 5. Of course, taking another pole position as well, Millings, I believe. He's had a few so far. Actually, Scott Rankin's taken 2 so far this season. Oh, so is Javier Simmons. My apologies. It's Simmons and Rankin that have taken the opening 3 qualifying sessions from the first 3 races. So this is Millings' first one. So good points for him, and he needs them as well, being 6th in the championship. So the stage points and the overall race points, very, very, very important to him. Dilworth looking to just bring home the main prize, which he is looking to do so. As quick as Simmons is, Dilworth really is moving very quickly, and more importantly, very consistently. That is what will win you championships. I've seen it before, where a driver won a championship without actually winning a race because he consistently finished. on the podium, second or third, and his lap times were so consistent over the whole series. It was borderline frightening. A little bit of a touch there as Josh Mertens goes ever so slightly slowly up the hill. Lucky Brett just giving him a tap in the rear to hurry him along. It's Hayden Millings that they are trying to hold on to, and not a bad slipstream to chase, maybe pick up a few pointers on improving the lap time in the closing stages. We have got 6 laps left to go. It's Luke Dilworth from Javier Simmons from Brady Stanley up at the top, Willie McLoone in 4th, and it's Harding, Millings, Mertens, Brett Warrington and Rhys Tamanou rounding out the top 10. Guptill find himself in 11th place ahead of Logan Howard with Scott Rankin in 13th. Devon Stone in 14th with Stephen Tears rounding out the top 15. Matt Howard, who we were watching there, he is currently in 16th position. Oh, another one in the final corner, and I'll tell you what, Willie McLoone there just running ever so slightly wide on the exit, so his back tyres are really starting to feel the pressure out in a few of the drivers. The tyres definitely have the lap times absolutely tumbling. That's Hayden Millings, one of the fastest drivers that we've seen. He's just done a 1 minute 20.6, and he is most definitely still pushing those lap times, so the tyres absolutely falling by the wayside at the moment as the top 3 look to be very settled in. I mean, there is Dilworth, 119.5 for him and a 119.5 for Simmons, so the two of them absolutely matched. And again, you can see there on the exit to that corner just how much wider the cars are running now that they've got very little rubber on the rims to see them to the end of the race. Okay, Tamanui, my apologies. I have been getting that one incorrect. There's going to be a few names. Tamanui. Yes, apologies if I do get any surnames correct. Please feel free to chuck some corrections in the chat. Thank you very much to George for keeping me on the straight and narrow. I mean, to be fair, even the league name has been giving me nightmares. I don't know why I can't pronounce it, but there we go. But it's the O'Reilly Auto Parts series. It's round number 4. We have got 4 laps left to go. Here for round number 4, it is the Sonoma Roadway. Of course, we'll be back on the ovals next week. It is Dilworth leading the way. Simmons with a 120.5, so his chasing days, looks like, are well and truly done. Not so much though for Hayden Warrington. He's got Lucky Brett just ahead of him in 8th place. Another few points up for grabs if he can get this overtake done, and he does look like he's got the slightly better tyre at the moment. And yeah, Rhys Tamanui could well be joining in this battle as well and get himself deeper into the top 10, and he's going to need to be on his toes, because that is indeed Hayden Guptill coming down the hill. Wow, and he's almost put that into the wall there. He's managed to keep out. Oh, it's another lock-up. I tell you what, Warrington's tyres are really going to struggle in these closing couple of laps here. This could be playing right into the hands of Tamanui and Guptill. In fact, they are not too far behind. These back tyres are going to be absolutely... Whoa, feeling the pressure as they just kick up a bit of sand there. Maybe trying a bit of grass dipping to cool the tyres down. If you know, you know. The Spa 24 from a couple of years ago. Wasn't that a fun time to be an iRacing driver? In the final corner, the flames absolutely spitting out the side of the cars as they gear down as frantically as possible to try and get these cars rotated and on to the start-finish straight. We have got 3 left to go, and this is the closest battle that we've got inside the top 10. That is for sure. It's Warrington still trying to get his way past Brett if he can. Oh, I tell you what, that's Brett slowed down, and that's brought up Warrington. That's punched him up, and Rhys Tamanui, he is now closer to Brett. Closer to Warrington than Warrington is to Brett. There we can see. Oh, he's just thrown himself a bit deep. Let's see what if anyone does anything down the hill. Oh, he's really gone for that inside curve there, has Warrington. Tamanui. You can see surely his name in lights for 2 positions. He has a big lock-up once again. Warrington really putting too much faith, to be honest, in the tyres that he's got there, and they are locking up left, right and centre. He is going to be driving on square tyres by the end of this, and we've also just had... Oh, Tim Alkius is coming to the pits. With 2 laps to go, Tim Altius has started to come into the pits. Not sure if he's had an incident or just really had enough of these old tyres, and a few of the drivers might be in the same boat. Here we go again, into the last corner. Oh, it's Tamanui about to get himself a double. It's Guptill about to get himself a treble. Guptill is about to get himself 1 position at the expense of Tamanui, potentially. No, he's not. He's going to back right over there. So Tamanui almost finding himself a casualty of the war which is raging on between Brett and Warrington. So much going on. We absolutely love to see it. And these drivers, I'll tell you what, it is some precision reflexes that we've seen so far from quite a few of them. And yeah, with the state of the tyres in these closing couple of laps, I think we're going to see a few more. Altius, sorry, coming out of the pits. Oh, I tell you what, you really are going to have to be careful with that wall, boys. Tamanui again. We saw what happened here. Oh, the ball concertina there. Guptill giving Tamanui a tap. Tamanui giving Warrington a tap. And Brett, the whole while, who was the cork in the bottle, he's now pulling away. And he's left these 3 to battle. So, wily campaigner there, Brett. If he's managed to just concertina them ever so slightly into that chicane, he has done himself absolute wonders, because he's given himself more than just a bit of breathing space. See if he can bring home that position. We are on the final lap. Guptill, of course, he's going for it in the final corner. He has a bit of a lock-up on both rear tyres there. Big, clumsy contact, unfortunately, with Tamanui, and he can't get the car past. Also can't get the car straightened up on the corner exit. And that now readjusts the battle that we are watching. Brett and Warrington will look to continue on as we've got a bit of a replay coming up. Mark Grover, oh, down the hill there, no grip whatsoever, and he's just pulled over. Yes, I'm not sure it was some kind of technical issue. Oh, and that's a big spin. Stefan Tears finds himself the wrong way round on the closing lap, and that is a replay, sorry, yes. That was another replay brought to us, so that was Tears. Well, there will certainly be Tears before bedtime after that one. The car spinning and facing the wrong way. And round at the last corner, though, here is Luke Dilworth. He's had 0 camera time. He's had 700 million overtaked as he goes. Full tyre melting across the line, and that is the checker flag for Luke Dilworth. Started in 29th position. And there we go. He's trying to go full fast and the furious up the hill, and he's just about managed to pull that off there. There are still cars racing though, Luke, so they're a lap down. Please be careful. There we go. Javier Simmons. He finished in 2nd place with Brady Standley. We'll get the top 3 of the commentary box, so I will be able to apologise directly to Brady for massacring his name so far. More cars across the line. Absolutely nose to tail as you would expect that. Went for the inside line. That's a whole lot of X's getting handed out at the end. Well, we'll get the full results, but that was Warrington and Tamanui, sorry, across the line. Guptill and Howard all safely making it across the line. Scott Rankin as well, and there is Luke Dilworth. Will we see some donuts? Come on, Luke. Hopefully, Terry, will we get some donuts from Luke? Let's see. No, he is just going full slide. I don't imagine it'll take too much more sliding for his tyres to absolutely pop. But yeah, Luke is loving life up at the front of the field, and quite rightfully so. He got himself up to 13th or 12th in stage 1, which didn't bring him home any points, of course, but he has taken the checkered flag. He has taken the top spot, and that is a very, very, very solid performance from him there. We'll get the results up on screen in a moment. As I say, we'll hopefully get, yes, we do have, it would appear, yes, some drivers popping in, so we will quickly have a look at the results. We can see it is the father and son duo, Luke Dilworth taking the top spot ahead of Simmons and Stanley in 2nd and 3rd. We've got Bryce Harding in 4th place, Willie McLean in 5th. It's Millings in 6th with Mertens, Brett, Warrington and Tamanui rounding out the top 10. Guptill in 11th with Howard, Logan Howard in 12th, Scott Rankin in 13th, Devin Stone in 14th, and Sam Waddell, Matt Howard finishing 15th and 16th. Aaron Smith, Stefan Tears, Stuart Patterson and Brock Mackney all finishing inside the top 20. We then had Matt Grover and Tim Alpheus in 21st and 22nd, Cam Galley in 23rd, Ian Gregory in 24th, and Cale James rounding out the top 25. It does look like Boswell, Harding, Leverage Watkins, Liam Earls, Steve Duff and Alec Inslee all falling by the wayside and unable to finish the race, unfortunately. So that was the results, and what I'm going to do, I think we will start. We'll start with third place and work our way up. We'll let the director know that. So yeah, we'll start with third and we'll work our way up. So what I will do is we will bring Brady Stanley in, or as I like to call him, Bradley Stanley. My apologies, Brady, got your name wrong a couple of times.
Happens a lot.
I could imagine. It certainly happened a lot tonight, so apologies when you watch the broadcast back. You think, oh, who's this Bradley geezer that's really, really quick? It's actually yourself. Anyway, enough of my mispronunciations, Brady. Phenomenal race tonight, bringing home P3. How did you find the race, and more importantly, how did you find Sonoma on those tyres?
It wasn't too bad, actually. It was more of a temp issue than anything. So once you backed off a little bit, you could start to get a bit more grip. But yeah, it was tough trying to pass Willie without, causing a bit of contact there, because he's very tough to pass and fast. So once he made the mistake, I got through and just we're a bit too far to catch next guy. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, third place is not bad, and the next guy is Javier Simmons. He's no stranger to a pole position in a race win here, so not bad company to be with up at the front of the field. How did you plan out your strategy today? We saw Luke Dilworth make a clear effort to win the race. He started from the back, he completely ignored the first stage. What was your thinking on the race strategy between the two stages here?
Well, I actually messed up and forgot to tick auto fuel in the pit stop, so at the stage caution, I didn't even fuel up. I come into the pit, and then it put the jug on, and I took off again, and I was like, oh, that was probably too quick, and then didn't fuel, so I just ran the fuel that I had left, like didn't take tyres at the stop, and then just pitted once I ran out of fuel, and off I went again. So, I mean, in the end, it worked out quite well, so...
So in other words, it was a deliberate strategy from the start, which you have crafted out to ensure yourself a podium, is what you're saying, Brady?
Oh, definitely.
Excellent. And we're back to the ovals next week. It's all turning left. We're off to Chicagoland. How are you feeling ahead of round number 5?
Yeah, I struggled a little bit on the ovals in these cars. They're a bit different to what I'm used to, the Cup car a little more, so... But we're getting there, so hopefully up the front with the rest of them battling. I'll be stoked with that.
Indeed. Well, we will be stoked to be here watching it. Congratulations this evening, Brady. It is third place and fastest lap of the race with a 1:17.840, 24 hundredths quicker than Simmons. So all round a very nice performance, Brady, and good. Very much looking forward to see what you do next week, mate.
Too easy. Cheers. Thanks for that.
Here we go then, folks. That was Brady Stanley, of course, finishing in second place. Finishing in third place, sorry. Finishing in second is the man that we've just brought in. One Javier Simmons. I mean, first off, Javier, thank you for the entertainment. Some phenomenal overtakes going on out there this evening, and a great drive overall to finish second in the overall race, and bringing home some stage points as well in stage 1. How was tonight's event for you?
Yeah, cheers, mate. Thanks, guys, for putting the stream on. Much appreciated. It was interesting. I actually felt like I had pretty good race pace compared to quali pace, and it felt like I was getting caught up a couple of times there, and it was always going to take the stage points, just points game at the moment. Overall the race was real fun. I thought everyone raced quite well and around us, and Luke just had too much for me.
Luke was very, very quick, but to be fair, Javier, you were no slouch yourself. As I say, some of those overtakes in the final corner, both on the inside and outside line, just to flex how talented you are behind the wheel. Slightly annoying if I'm being honest, but yeah, there's some very nice overtakes. How did you find the tyres out there? Because we did see, I mean, the lap times really were tumbling. They came down from 1 minute 17 to 1 minute 20 towards the end of the race. So how were the tyres out there for you tonight?
Yeah, tyres were definitely temp dependent. Didn't really feel too much actual tyre wear until those final few laps. I took 2 tyres on my green flag stop in the final stage, and yeah, they felt good until maybe the last 4 or 5 laps. And yeah, that's the only sort of time I felt real tyre wear. But yeah, just got to keep the temps down and you keep them underneath you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you've just got to keep the temps down, folks, at Sonoma with all those downhill braking zones. Makes it sound like it just ain't no thing. We're back to turning left. We're back to turning left next week, Javier, at Chicagoland. How are you feeling ahead of next week's event?
Yeah, unsure. A bit of an unknown track. I've only really driven it in the Cup car recently, so it'll be interesting to see how the speed car goes around that place. I'm sure the racing will be interesting and it'll be fast. So yeah, looking forward to it. Need to try get one over Luke. That's 2 weeks in a row now. He's beat me. So yeah, need to find something to get him.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I did hear someplace in the background the rumour that you said you had no chance, so you're going to need to up your game. Just stirring the pot a bit. But yeah, have you? Thank you again for tonight's entertainment. Thank you for the race. Best of luck next week, and huge congratulations on your podium this evening.
Yeah, cheers, mate. Just want to make a quick shout out to the Fastlane Esports boys, to our sponsors, System Decal, SP Tools New Zealand, 17RC and Sidebike Media. And yeah, just shout out to the boys. Well done to Brady getting third and Luke on the win.
Yeah, nice. There we go. Yeah, and thank you to any company that does sponsor racers, teams, and broadcasts. We absolutely massively appreciate it. Without you guys, there's no broadcast in the league. So huge thank you. That was Javier Simon. Thank you very much, Javier. We'll pop him back in the waiting room, and we will bring in our driver that finished in first place. He made, let me just get my abacus out today, 747 overtakes. He started in 29th position, strategized very well to bring home an overall race win by 6 seconds. Not a bad performance tonight, Luke. You must be pleased with that.
Yeah, it's good. I love this track and car combo. It seems to just click pretty well every time we come here. So yeah, I got a bit lucky. I think a couple of people made maybe a couple of errors on there, maybe when they tried to flip the stage. I noticed that I jumped, was it Hayden Millings? I think he was leading at the time, and which was a bit odd, but yeah, well, I mean, we'll take it. Can't complain with a good night.
Indeed, yeah, and talk to us about qualifying. I mean, was that a deliberate attempt to start at the back of the field and a deliberate strategy to get the overall race win rather than be in the mix in the first stage and potentially lose out on the overall race win? I mean, what was going on with the starting at the back this evening?
I made a I said to myself at the start of the season that I'd start at the back, I just won't qualify each race and see where we end up at the end. And so far, it's been all right. We had a couple of struggles and a couple of good races, 2 wins in a row, which is nice. That should almost get me up close to the lead on points. So yeah, that was basically the reason.
Right, okay, well, yeah, so, yeah, phenomenal amount of talent. Yeah, and I can confirm that it does get you very, very, very close to the top of the standings. It'll be interesting to see those next week. Of course, we'll get a look at those next week before the race start at Chicagoland. We're back to exclusively turning left next week. Look, how are you looking forward to Chicagoland? Javier doesn't have much experience here, but he says he's gunning for you.
Yeah, it's we haven't raced there for a couple of seasons, like in racing in general. So I'm looking forward to it. The Cup car was a real struggle there last time we were there. So this car obviously has, just a different driving style and different characteristics. So it's bumpy and it's fast. So it'll be good racing, hopefully.
Yes, it will. I cannot wait to get the best seat in the house to watch it as well. And is there anyone that you would like to say a shout out to, Luke, before you go?
Just Josh from System Decal. Keeps putting me cool cars, making them look cool. So that's the main thing.
They do indeed. To be fair, all the livery designers really do need a pat on the back. It's a dark art form, as far as I'm concerned, making liveries on cars. So yeah, thank you to everyone that does. But look, huge congratulations on another win here at VRA, and very much looking forward to see what you do next week and indeed for the rest of the season.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, guys. I look forward to watching the stream back, and it's cool to have you guys on board to sort of televise us a bit more and, yeah, see where it goes from here.
Yeah, well, I can assure you, the pleasure is absolutely all ours, Luke. So, yeah, congratulations once again. Enjoy watching the broadcast. Unfortunately, you didn't get much camera time because you were way off in the front on your own, but still worth watching nonetheless.
Awesome. Cheers, guys.
There we go then, folks. That is Luke Dilworth. No stranger to an overtake this week. He started at the back and he's made his way all the way to the front. What a race that has been. The first stage, of course, won by Milling. The overall race won by Dilworth for round number 4 of the virtual Racing Aotearoa. Here for the 2026 O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. That was round number 4. As I mentioned, we've got Chicagoland next week, so we are back to exclusively turning left for the drivers. Quite a few laps will be undertaken. Let me just refresh my memory. Yeah, 55 lapper that we've got next week, and of course we will have the stages as well. That's all we've got time for this week, though. Huge thanks to VRA for getting us on board with this one. Huge thanks to everyone that has watched. If you are looking for leagues to be broadcast, give us a shout here at TrackSpotTV. The website, which has been masterfully put together by George Cooke, is now fully up and running. And if you're a broadcaster or commentator yourself, again, give us a shout. We have plenty of leagues and coverage that we are looking to get done, so give us a shout and get yourself on board. Now, as I say, that is all we have got time for this week. We will be back same time, same place next week. Until then, stay safe, take it easy, and have a great rest of your night. Good night.